My name is Anna. I work for a personal injury law firm. I've always wanted to go into law school, and working in the law field actually made me want to do it a little bit more. I really like that law is basically an ongoing study. You're just always doing research, and a lot of cases are very similar, but whenever there's that new one, it's really fun. I've done 2 courses of LSAT prep, the Princeton Review and also LSAT Max. They're really similar. Basically, what they teach is kind of a tricks to get the right answer. It doesn't really help you like analyze the reasoning. Sometimes, for example, I would see some answers and they would say, well, that's irrelevant. And I would always ask myself, like, but why? How will I be able to see this when I'm doing my test? How will I know it's irrelevant if you're just telling me it's irrelevant and just skip it? So that was kind of something that I didn't really like much. My first LSAT was, I think, around 139. And then after the Princeton Review in 2019, I went up about like 4 or 5 points. I think I was like at 145. I did take an LSAT, I think it was maybe 2020, and I scored 150. That's when I got to my current score, which I've been stuck in, which is 150. So probably LSAT Max didn't really help that much. With LSAT Max, there was a lot more information. There was videos of everything, and LSAT Max did some what they called office hours, which were live but not really one-on-one, so you didn't really get to ask as many questions or stuff. My practice test decreased, and then they got back up to the 150 where I was. The courses with you have been a lot different. I actually understand what I'm doing, and I think that it will be really helpful for when I go to law school, because I actually understand what I'm reading, and we've been really going into detail as to what each answer means and how I can see why it's wrong and see why it's right. So that's really extremely different from what I was doing before. This weekend, I was out with my family, and I feel like I was analyzing what they were saying subconsciously. I was thinking, well, does that make sense? Does that have to do with what you were talking before? I was telling my fiance something. And he said something completely irrelevant to the question I was asking. And I was like, but that doesn't have to do with the question I was asking. You're missing my point. It's really cool that I'm seeing how it works and how to think really quickly about how that does not make sense. The way that you do it is kind of like if we were interrogating someone at court. So it's really good to start practicing that. I liked the process a lot because I need someone to be on me and tell me like, oh, it's time to study, or give me enough work that I need to be like, okay, I need to study a lot. I've increased the amount that I've been studying. This past week, I've studied, I believe it's over 15 hours. I've studied over 15 hours this week, and before I was just doing an hour a day. So having someone be like, early morning, let's start studying, that gets me in the mindset to keep studying all day, even if it's just a little bit of time of the day, because I do work an 8-hour job. So it keeps me in the mindset of I need to continue studying, and that way I study a lot more and get in more practice. Also, the way that Troy does his program is that he'll give you a study session, you'll practice, and then he'll give you homework. And it's assigned homework regarding that topic. It's not just you randomly doing any other section of the LSAT that you want, or just doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's specific to what you need to continue practicing, even the setting. So it can be, if you're good at easy questions, he doesn't give you easy questions. He'll give you the hard questions that'll make you think, and then explain exactly why it was wrong or why it was right. And if you have questions, he'll go over them. And he's usually really attentive, even during times that you're not in session. So he has an app where it's kind of like a chat, and that way you keep practicing even outside of your sessions. So also the way that Troy works is that he'll teach you exactly why the answer was wrong and how to spot it in the future. So you can see exactly where you went wrong and keep that in the back of your head for whenever you're reading questions in the future. you can think back on that question and be like, okay, so that time I did this wrong. Let me make sure I don't do it in these other questions. And usually that helps you understand the right answer. I really like the app. I haven't worked with a lot of tutors in the past, but I don't really think this is a normal thing that everybody has. And you have a lot of practice that is specifically assigned to you, not to everybody who is purchasing this course. It's individualized to what you need